That's what.
Oh,
Here we
okay,
go.
so got it. All
So,
right.
Captain Car Queso here. I'm here with Swisha Atm. We're gonna talk about some weird shit. Try to realize what the fuck is going on in this universe.
I don't sound on the fun, son. That was nice.
Good luck
Sorry.
to us. So here we go. Dice is rolled, and we got a 4. 4 comes to 3 and 4 is aliens. So we're gonna be talking about aliens.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So usually my first question is, do they exist? Yes or no?
They have to. Yes. At this point, they have to. Right? Some beings, some other beings, has to.
I think that's the mentality of most people these days, and I know most scientists come and it's just mathematically improbable that we are the only whatever out there. I think they exist. It's just like probability says they have to. And to think man is the highest form of consciousness in an infinite and ever expanding universe, that's just the arrogance of man.
Yeah, definitely.
So then my next question is, are they coming? Are they here? Or have they always been here?
I'm gonna say I think all of the above, right? I think they made maybe stations. Well, we all know about Area 51 and things like that, but I also think they come and go. You know what I'm saying? Maybe do a little test, and I like entertaining the thought that the government may have some type of treaty with them. You know what I'm saying?
That would be like the Galactic Federation kind of idea.
Yeah. Well, this is what it's kind of evidence to me, right? I'm an 80s baby. I know I look like a young punk, but no, I'm an 80s baby. And I used to watch a lot of sci-fi with my grandma. Star Trek, The Outer Limits, what's
Twilight
that
Zone,
Doctor Who.
Who, early Doctor Who, the one with the big
scarf. Oh, I love the music. The theme still in my head, right? But anyway, so just the thought of like my grandma couldn't fathom that Star Trek would be like, bloop, and you can see someone's face on your watch and you talk to them.
Right.
That was not fathomable. And I watched this on a black and white 12, 13-inch TV, right? And I'm like maybe 6, 7 years old. So just how fast we went from that to touch screens and holograms and Tesla cars, and that's too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just think of this, it's just too. I know we're smart. I'm not gonna hold us back, but I just feel like the technology jump was way too fast and dramatic. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you had the 50s and the 60s there where, after supposedly the UFOs crashed at Roswell, they did a bunch of back engineering. I will say, actually, our technology, I think it's been stifled. I think it would have been a lot faster. But, well, you think about this.
That's interesting.
Oil. Trillions of dollars of oil are bought and sold every year. You have, in the 60s, they had electric cars. They had hydrogen cars. They had, the shit that Tesla was getting into in the 40s, the 30s, 20s, yeah, was insane.
We can get into also that the black man that invented the water engine and he got murdered like 2 years ago, just disappeared off of that when he was working with Tesla. That's strange.
Think about this. If you were, say, in a family, because the families that control the oil and everything are usually groups of family where they keep the money in the family. If you were raised in a family and you were making hundreds of billions of dollars every year, and there was this guy and he's got this little toy he's been tinkering on, and that little toy that he's tinkering on is going to create clean, free energy, you're going to lose hundreds of billions of dollars a year, but for the rest of your life, you're not going to be making any more money. I'm killing people.
I definitely agree. So when you say stifle, you mean it's basically like held back. Like they still got
Yeah.
this technology. They're just
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna release it to everybody. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Well, it's
Yeah,
like, oh, it's, you know, cancer is not profitable if you cure it.
exactly.
I
You've heard
can't come
about
out, huh?
I'm sorry, have you heard about Dr. Sabi?
No, I don't know who Dr. Sabi is.
Oh man. Okay, so listen.
Too
And
many
I don't
awesome
mean to
people.
cut I don't mean to cut you off. It's just it's real beneficial to the topic, all right?
Go for it.
Cancer, disease, AIDS, right? He's cured them. And he has proof. He's proven to the Supreme Court. So look, and this is another thing. He passed on I think 2 years ago also, coincidentally, which I think it's crazy that they may have got rid of him also. So listen.
Did he know the Clintons?
I'm sorry?
Did he know the Clintons?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
because
he's a Dr. Sabi. And I don't want to sound crazy because I'm still learning, you know, so I don't want to sound
yeah,
like a goof. But to sum it all up, he was all about alkaline foods, you know, real herbs and things like that.
yep,
Even to the point that the government are you know, they were already on geomatically you know,
GMO.
modifying things in our herbs to the point where he
Yeah.
would go into like a herbalist because he's an old man. And the herbalist like has a little nephews running the shop and be like, you know, I need some chamomile and this and this. And he would be like, wait a minute, this isn't the real stuff. And he had the old he said the guy in the shop brought his old ancestor and he was like, oh my God, you really know real herbs. To the
Yeah.
fact that we're not even getting real herbs and things for our medicines and stuff. Anyway, long story short, right? It's a professional baseball guy. I don't know his name, but his father, he was an older guy. He had a big brain tumor and stuff, right? And he tried everything, doctors and all that. And the guy was like, I don't want to go to Uganda to this skinny African guy to his hut. The dad was like, not with it, right? But the son,
Right.
he was determined to, he was like, I've tried everything. He's like, we're gonna try this guy. Long story
What could it
short, I
hurt?
think it was like 3 or 4 months. He said he's at a dinner table and the dad was picking his nose or something. And long story short, he pulled out the whole brain tumor out his nose on the table and stuff, right? Just from alkalines and things like that. Sounds crazy, right? The
Not to me.
Supreme Court said, look, man, you're going to stop promoting that you're curing the AIDS virus. You're going to stop that or we're going to arrest you. And then they gave him a deadline, say, hey, if you can bring us 7 counts that you people to really show that say document that you've proven that you've cured them of the AIDS HIV virus. And
Right.
out of those 7, I think he brought over 70 cases. This is like in the like late 60s, if I don't believe.
You know, that doesn't really surprise me. You know, a lot of this, the medical situations that people experience. And I've worked in mental health care for 20 years. So I know I've dabbled in with doctors, psychiatrists, and everything like that. They are poisoning us. They are lying to us about it. And there are natural remedies that if we stuck to could cure a multiple situations, but also like meditation, mindfulness, the power of the brain. Dude, if you got the mind, body, and spirit working in order together, who knows what you could do?
Hey, man, I'd
the,
like to shout out to my wife. She got me on this path. I don't know if you know, look, you speak of spiritual and meditation. Look,
there you go.
Like my wife got me on. She's a sound practitioner with sound bowls and things like that.
Oh yeah, like Tibetan singing bowls, because vibration, like that's why they think there's pyramids in Egypt that are tuned to frequencies. Ancient people, like it really is. And also, this actually ties in because I think a lot of this knowledge came from an advanced civilization that did not come from Earth. So you go back.
So it's full circle, right? So I'm glad you said that, right? So this goes back to pyramids, you know, a lot of world wonders and things like that, right? The pyramids, it projects light, and it's like some quartz way at the bottom. It's weird design.
There's mercury, quartz, limestone. There's 2 sections of stone above the king's chamber that are tuned to certain frequencies. So they think the pyramids, the going idea come out that, you know, mainstream archaeologists won't admit because they'll look, you know, they got to be right. It's one of those, they got to be right. We're right, you're wrong.
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's no possible other way that the pyramids are generators of energy.
Yes. So
And
I
whether
feel
that's for, you know,
somehow they
pushing
were
it off.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it's whether they were, you know, there to whether it functioned as like a generator for like we, you know, we have power plants that power our houses and everything like that, or whether it was to send it off world, who knows? But yeah, we don't have any clue how they built the pyramids or what specifically they were for.
I think it might have been they might even been able to tap into mind control and what do you call that?
Absolutely.
Kinetic. They probably moved them
Telekinesis.
Yeah, they probably was you know what I'm saying?
No, actually, I know exactly know what you're saying because in the pyramids, they have found these large, they're like they're just boxes. They're big obsidian boxes that are straight up like laser etched. And I guarantee, and they're huge, they're massive. Yeah. And so I guarantee there was probably what people did was lay in these, they fasted, they meditated, they laid in these, and they astrally projected themselves across the universe. Do you know what astral projection is?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so like,
my
yeah,
wife does it when she takes edibles.
yeah, it's great. I've done it a couple times.
I teleported. I'd be like, oh,
I've gone some places. So yeah, it's, you know, the technology that they had is far superior to what we know and comprehend, but we've got this, you know, science is the only explanation for anything. There can't be something, you know, way crazier when it was Nikola Tesla that said.
And that alone keeps us asleep, right? Because like meditation alone, right? If I was shown to meditate as a child, right? If we were taught, you know, self-love, self-affirmation and things, like growing up, it was always like, you know, like back to like religion and stuff. Sometimes religion can like stifle your growth. You know what I'm saying? Actually, like you need to humble yourself. Why are you so cocky? No, I believe in myself and I'm affirming myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I have to die? Why do I have to die be able to get blessed? You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a scam to me. You know
well, I was actually just thinking about this the other day because I was raised kind of Free Methodist Christian, but you know, one of the things that really kind of fucked me up in this life was the Calvinistic preaching of hell, that you're going to burn in hell for all eternity, forever and you can't put it out.
It's just going to keep burning and burning and burning.
Well, because you fucked up here. And I always equated to that, like, if you had a kid, I don't know if you have kids, but if you have a kid and they burn their hand on the stove, well, you tell them, no, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Don't touch the stove, it's hot. And they touch the stove. Do you put a child in a cage for the rest of his life for that?
Exactly. It's crazy, right?
No. And in the original documents of the Bible, and even in the Jewish Bible, the Torah and everything, hell is not for an eternity. Hell is a place of learning. Hell is so that you can burn away your impurities and realize what you've done. So it's hell really lasts as long as you want it to.
Oh, that's interesting. You said that was the Jewish view of it?
I've seen a couple things about it. I know back in the even the Christian, I don't even think in the original Christian Bible, not the one with most people have today, because even then I question where it's come from and who's had influence over it. Yeah. Especially, well, this ties back actually to the Vatican and the Roman Catholic Church, because there's people that say the Roman Catholic Church, since it's been in power for thousands of years. Like the Roman Catholic,
they have all the documents, all the treasures. They have everything under the what is
in the Vatican archives?
The Vatican. Yes, it's so
I don't believe it there. It's too obvious. It'd be too obvious. I know they have like 53 miles of shelves and tunnels under the Vatican. But
Mhm.
the really important stuff, it's like Area 51. There's not going to be anything at Area 51 because people know about it. It's going to be in a
Yeah.
secure, dark location. And it's crazy that the Roman Catholic Church, like I said, they ruled the world for almost 1,000 years.
Hmm.
Like
And part of that is what?
oh,
By enforcing this Christianity on the world. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
the power of the church, the Roman Catholic
Yeah,
Church is
yeah.
always, we are the meditator between you and God. You can't get to God unless you go through us.
You hit it on the head, man. You hit it on the head, right? One of
Yep.
the biggest scams. Even, and I don't know your religious, like no disrespect, but like when people say, like in Jesus' name, like it's like that's the pager. Like you can't get to God without saying in Jesus' name. It's like, oh, you need this middleman to get to you. When the whole time we are godly as individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think this is part where people have gotten the idea of Jesus wrong. And I think this has been promoted by the church, not only the Catholic churches and the Christian churches, that Jesus is an idea that is outside of you.
Hmm.
Because really, when it comes down to, okay, so what is the name Jesus? Jesus Christ, right? Well, what does that mean? Well, Jesus was just, it was a Iosos is the translation of the name, and it was a common name. But the word Christ means anointed. So it was Iosos the anointed. So
It's also, wait, not to stop you, but
go ahead.
even the Jesus, even the whole Jesus concept, like the word BC is before Christ.
Right.
Once, like I say, when I've been to prison, I've been around Muslims, I've been around, all type of different religions and creeds and regular. But when I've heard like Yahshua, you know what I'm saying? There's like 20 other entities with the same thing. The December 25th birthday, the virgin birth, the miracles, like, and these are before the Jesus Christ. So it's
Right.
like it's almost like y'all took the best stories and put them into your own,
Made
transformer
their
mega.
own little, yeah. Well,
Yeah. So once I realized that, that's when I knew the jig was up. I'm like, oh my God. But as a child, they hit me with all this hell stuff. And then
yeah,
my elders, my grandmother, I don't want to go against what my grandmother believed. So it's
right.
like that. But now that I'm an adult, I have to think for myself, man. And it's like, no, man, you gotta. It's a scam to me. And I don't mean to sound,
Oh,
hey, if it makes you a right person, then more power to it. But when it comes to like your higher self or even being godly in your power, it's like, bro, we are powerful. When I've said a lot of raps, when I first was like 17, 18, I was saying a lot of negative shit that wasn't happening and it came true. I've lost like 17 of my peers to like gun violence and drugs and shit, to the streets and shit. Like, so I have a little survivor remorse and things like that. But my thing is like, I realized like, man, it's bigger than this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, we were misled a lot. You know what I'm saying? But
I know exactly what you're saying because I've really, I've been kind of bitter and jaded my whole life. Like I'm an 80s child. I was born in 83. Grew up a bunch of movies,
yes,
sci-fi, fantasy, horror, Mad Max. I'm out here. I'm getting ready for Thunderdome. Uh, and one of it, They Live was a very influential movie
mm-hmm.
because
They live. I'm trying to think. Wait, I'm trying to think. I know
Rowdy
the
Roddy
title
Piper,
with the
uh,
glass.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Obey, consume. I'm here to
yeah.
kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. So I've been bitter, and I had a lot of people die early in my childhood. So, and then I read a bunch of fantasy books, and one of my biggest influences as a child was Spawn, the comic book.
Hmm.
And he was a demon from hell that eventually killed the devil and said, fuck God. And so I was kind of like, everything's a lie. And I'm really
Yeah.
coming to the understanding that you can take nothing on face value, no matter what it is, because it is all lies, misrepresentations, and partial truths. So,
And
like,
not
that's
and not only that, right? When I see the difference in the control into it, like as far as the black community, right? And even now that I'm here in Arizona, they have this thing with like Black history that they don't get into. And that's it's kind of okay, but then it's definitely not, right? On a few reasons. It's like, because when you think of Black people, you automatically write us off to like, oh, they weren't slaves, but they were servants. And that instantly makes that mentality like that's where we started. But whole
Well, is
time
that
it's
where
like,
the indentured servitude comes in? Where like, yeah, I think some people mistake indentured servitude as a type of slavery, but
yeah, but
it's
even
not like the slavery we're talking about in the South.
yeah, but even that, as history as if you have Black friends now, they were like, my daughter came home talking about, oh, we were talking about Kobe Bryant. I'm like, okay, that's all right, but no, you know what I'm saying? It's like we have it's some things that need to that should be taught and learned, like even before slavery. That's only
Oh yeah,
white. If you ask a white person about Black people, they're instantly gonna say, oh, from Africa, we brought them over here. When in real life, the average white person doesn't know that we've been in America before slavery. I say 90% of white people don't believe that we've been in America. We've already been there. We've been there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you think of that, it's like, okay, so if we've been there and we got to this, and then there's like what, over 1,000 different reversions of the King James and all that, but the word
yeah,
slave has never changed. They made sure slave was still there. You know what I'm saying? Obey your master. Like, they changed a lot of things, but some things were not changed, and that's by design. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
it's like,
Well,
it's
that's
like,
my problem. My problem with history is that the winners write history to make them look good.
mm-hmm.
Um, most people have no understanding of history. Most people take whatever history they were taught as word, when most historians are it's guessing. Unless you have tons of people with eyewitness accounts of what happened, that were written, the documents and every story, you know, we make up a bunch of bullshit. And especially these days, I don't trust governments to teach proper history. I think the schools are no longer schools. They're, what was it the other day? I thought, when a school no longer teaches thinking, but teaches
Uh-huh.
thought, it is no
Yes,
longer a school. It is a camp of indoctrination.
definitely. They're
And in
little prisons.
America, yes, they exactly ran like prisons. They have the same
Yes,
food. They have the same.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned more history from getting stoned and watching Netflix documentaries and YouTube than I ever fucking did in school.
Yeah, man. It's really, and that's the thing, like, now that, um like, I'm from Illinois, it's a little different. Like, it's a little chaotic, right? Like, the
Oh,
drugs, the 80s really fucked my community up. You know what I'm saying?
you
We're
mean the
getting it.
CIA fucked your community up?
Yeah, man. We getting it together though. They didn't think we was gonna bounce back like this. You know what I'm saying? We shaking it, we getting back, but now it's like they're still not playing fair. You know what I'm saying?
No, they never will. The powers, you got to understand, like, and this ties into, I think there are beings out there that are trying to communicate with us. And I think, but it also is a range of beings. So there's going to be your beings that want humanity to do well. They want us to raise us up. They want to educate us. They want us, they want peace, love, and understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are what the word Satan means is great adversary. There are beings that are adversaries against peace, love, community. There are beings out there full of hate and malice. And the problem is, people are easily tempted. And to think that there aren't secret societies that are trying to run the world, that there haven't been running the world for thousands of years, is just kind of, I mean, naive.
Right, right. Man, it's
So,
crazy that you said that though. If I can just back off it real quick, right? So, like, I've been on this spiritual journey and thing, right? And I've always I've always like had a thing for energy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can hear
Everything is energy.
my ear would be ringing and it would feel like someone's standing over me, and I would be like looking like you know what I'm saying? I've always, if someone could walk in
Yeah.
the room and I would hear them before, like if it's a fight, like everyone, we have vibration we can sense, right? But
We
like
are evolving as a species, and I know exactly what you're talking about. They call it tinnitus, the ringing in the ears, because I've been sensitive all my life. You sense things. I sense. One of my big issues is cloud cover because I can feel the pressure on my brain.
mhm.
And I think this is the next step of human evolution because we've gone from, I mean, like, how hard do you work every day compared to, people 1,000 years ago?
Not hard at all.
Not all of them. Like, dude, I traveled across America 3 times in my car in the last couple of years, and all I did was get stoned and think about people in fucking wagons walking across fucking America. And I was like, that sounds like it sucked.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did it, so I didn't have to.
I'm gonna go back on the entities, right? That may be disruptive and things like that, right? Well, one thing I was taught is to like tap into my ancestors that may pass on and still want to connect with me, right?
Yeah.
I have a grandmother that loved me to death, right? But it's like you said though, it's all scary because you can tap into those entities that have a lot of rage and pain and may want to make you just fuck some shit up. So it's like it's real. I have to make sure I do, a little protection and things like that to make sure, hey, I'm calling on my ancestors that love me, mean me nothing but love and intention, and mean me no harm and no harm to anyone else. You know what I'm saying? And that's real because, like you said, man, it's a lot of people that be tapping in, and it might
Well,
you might inner beast. You know what I'm saying?
this also comes to my question. So, because, okay, so when people talk about aliens, most people think they go to little green men or whatever from a different planet.
Mhm.
But what about interdimensional beings? That's
Yes.
a whole new level.
Yeah. But it can still be the same. They might not even be coming from a planet. They might just be poof. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, that's
Popping up.
what I've heard somebody say. That's what, like, the only explanation for Sasquatch really is that he's an interdimensional being that pops in and out because there's no possible way you could support those kind of species in the numbers and everything. Give me just a second. We're gonna put this on pause for a moment. I got to get this dog, let her out back because she is complaining. So I'll be right back.
All right, I'm right here.
Hey, come on. Come on. All right, there we go. But yeah, and that's actually, have you ever looked up the videos of the biblically accurate angels and what they look like?
I think my wife may have been watching it with the light. It was something that was like they were slowing down. It looks like lightning bolts, and they were like emerging. Is that something with them?
No, this is just like CGI renditions of biblically accurate angels. You can look it up on YouTube. They're crazy looking. It's like a giant ball with wings and just eyes. And they're biblically, like, they're taken out of the Bible and everything like that. And I wouldn't be surprised because I know I've done some drugs and I've done some psychedelics and I did DMT. I went somewhere, met a blue man in a loincloth. I've had really deep, like, dreams that weren't just dreams. I've seen some weird shit, some weird beings. So I don't think I definitely believe that it's a weird, wacky fucking universe out there, and there's a lot going on. And us as humans should be terrified because I always bring this up. Did you ever see that movie, The Mist by Stephen King? The one with Tom Jane, where they get stuck in that grocery store.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. I didn't really care for the remake, but
the TV show was terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that was a brutal move. That ending was brutal. But that's kind of like what humans do, and this is actually ties into what they think happened at the last cataclysm of Atlantis. In the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, they talk about how the technology had become so great that we could tap into other dimensions. And as man has a tendency of doing, instead of, meditating and becoming a monk and using your powers, gradually gaining your powers through the right way, we take shortcuts.
Uh-huh.
And
And
so what
selfish ways to try to make it,
exactly summoning demons and stuff like that. So they say that in Atlantis, there was beings that craved power, and so they summoned beings from lower dimensions. And they kind of put it like this: they had to plug the hole. So if you have a hole in your stomach and your stomach acid is leaking out into your body, you're gonna die eventually.
Yeah, it's gonna
And
catch up
so
too.
to plug the hole, and this is where I think they destroyed Atlantis, plugged the hole, and washed the earth clean for a restart.
Hmm.
Because it was one of those things where, a few bad apples ruined it for everybody else. Who knows
Yeah.
what dark, deep, dank bunker, what kind of experiments the military is doing.
So look, that makes me think of the Mandela effect, right?
Yeah.
So that makes me think of all the glitches. I have to tell you this, right? Now you're 80s baby too.
Yep.
So you're familiar with Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, the Bernstein Bears.
All right. Now, a good friend of mine who I'm probably 10 years older than him, he's really educated, he has a couple masters. And so we have a lot of debates. And he always talks to me like, boy, you a conspiracy theorist. And I say, bro, it's cool to be educated, but you still have to have some type of critical thought that's outside of the
Right.
box. You know what I'm saying? And hold on, my ADHD kicking in. I'm losing track.
Well, you like saying you can't take anything at face value, and your buddy's conspiracy theory, which today, if you're not a conspiracy theorist, you ain't thinking.
Yeah, okay, here it goes. So yeah, so I was talking to him about Berenstain Bears. And he was like, bro, that's crazy. It's not Berenstain, it's Berenstein or whatever. And I bullshit you not. I got kids. So we go at a doctor, little room, there's little Legos and stuff there. And it's crazy because it's almost like the universe was like showing me this. Cause I was just talking to my friend about this Berenstain Bear Manila effect. And I look and I see the book. It fucked me up, bro. It's Stein. It was IEN. So I took a picture with my phone just to prove to my friend with the master's degree that I'm crazy and all this, right? I take a picture. I show my wife, baby, you see this? You see it too. I'm not crazy, right? I take a picture. Probably a week goes by, something like that. And I'm kicking it with this guy and something. And then it's, oh shit. Oh, you know what? I got something to show you. I bullshit you not, fam. I pull up my fucking phone and it was spelled the other way, which I know I took a picture of it and it was IEN or whatever. Now that I'm showing him my phone, it's AIN stain. Like what? Like, and
Dude, your brain,
like,
that's the thing about your brain. Yeah, because our brains, and that's the problem is our brains lie to us all the time. I've worked in mental health for 20 years. Our brains are constantly telling us we're better than we are, that we're doing good for whatever reason, that, your brain is always trying to scapegoat other people. And until you take
that's tricky
control.
though. That's tricky though, because, it's a thin line between like confidence and like depression. So you kind of have to tell yourself good things like that. That's
the constant. That's where like humanity, we lie in between heaven and hell. Mm-hmm. It's that in between and swinging back and forth. But yeah, like, plus I don't know. I had a client once that told me the angels would talk to him through his phone, and I'm like, fuck yeah, if I was an angel, it'd be like, I don't gotta go down to earth anymore. I can just get you through your fucking Android.
Well, it's been viral now, but like I say, I've been on this like spiritual path for a few years now. But like, you were familiar with angel numbers?
Yeah, well, numerology.
Yeah, so like,
Numerology, like, well, I mean, what the mark of the beast, 666, 777,
yeah,
the number of God,
444, 11,
11,
11.
11.
Yeah,
And the
so
thing
like,
about it is, it's mathematics. The thing about that is, it's all mathematics, literally the
well, I
language of
think
the
it's also,
universe.
I think some people believe that the angel numbers like 444, 555 is you're gonna have great change. 444 is like protection is your way. You know what I'm saying? 222 is like certain things. So as far as someone saying the angels talk to them through their phone, I can say the same thing because I don't even be on my phone that much. But every
No,
time I pick my phone up, it'll be 1111, 222, 444. Not that I'm just on my phone at like 10 and then pick it back up. No, I'll be totally off my phone. And it's like it's no coincidence that for a week straight, I've caught 1111 in the morning and at night. You know what I'm
right.
saying? It's like
And yeah,
that's when it's like now they're talking. They might be trying to tell me something. You know what I'm saying?
well, like I said, I mean, you're good. Like, math is the language is a universal language. Math
Mm-hmm.
is the same, on Jupiter as it is here. Um,
Okay.
and
Okay.
I mean, who knows? Did you ever see the movie Pi?
What's it called?
Pi, the
PIE?
3.14. Well, it's
I don't think I
pi,
did.
but it's the
It's the
mathematical number.
mathematical. Yeah, yeah.
It's
No,
a
I don't
black
think
and
I
white
have.
movie. Oh, dude, it's where this, super genius kind of idiot savant figures out what pi is.
Huh.
And then, like, there's this Jewish sect that's after him because they believe that that is the name of God. And it's a really well done movie. It's one of those uh you know cult classics. It's called
Mm.
pi, but it's the math symbol.
1998 PI.
Yeah,
Okay.
black and white. It's a good watch. It's a trip.
Huh.
But numerology, astrology, this is where we come into what I call occult sciences.
Mm.
The dude, well, one thing that's blew my mind is the Kabbalah, the Jewish book that you don't hear much
Okay.
about. You hear about the Torah, but you don't hear about the Kabbalah. And there's a
Mm.
lot of weird stuff in it. It has the tree of life, the Sephiroth,
Mm.
and occult, like straight up occult magic, which I think
Yeah.
occultism is more just a science of the universe. The Freemasons use it. And what's interesting about the Freemasons is the Freemasons have their hand in literally everything. Almost every president we've ever had is a Freemason.
Yeah.
The most
Yeah.
powerful people in history have been Freemasons, scientists, artists.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? I just found out recently that the founder of Mormonism was a Freemason.
Oh yeah, that's one of them big elite clubs. Yeah.
And well, the thing about it is, like, it's an elite club that a lot of the elites are in, but the thing about it, there's a higher club than them, so they're the base of the club.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it gets deep and dark. And I don't know
Oh yeah,
aliens,
man.
because, and this actually ties back into aliens, because so okay, there's elite groups of individuals running the world for whatever
Mm-hmm.
purpose, power, money, greed.
Shapeshifters.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that was like an alien species. They talk about the
Mm-hmm.
reptilians and everything like that. And if you had advanced technologies, you could be able to shapeshift. I
So that's
mean,
so this I like to entertain this theory, right? Like, okay, we talked about how it might be some type of contractual with the government and everything, right? I also like to entertain the thought of like they come back, we can be just a big ass experiment, and they just come back to check on us. We like a big ass ant form. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I also can think that like we all have a God gene. There's a thing called the God gene.
right,
Also, it's funny that scientists say things like, "Oh, you have what's the word, like unuseful DNA or something like that." Which no, all DNA is important because you're doing, DNA things with animals and crossing a rutabaga with a cantaloupe and making a special like it's no such
right.
thing as garbage DNA. All of the DNA is something. So we have something called the God gene, right? Um, they did a test where every person in the world has at least a piece of Africa in them. The first original person was here and all of that. Then I think about the aliens and the damn the pyramids and things, right? And I think all this technology was set here. They want to see how much we're gonna figure out. They keep coming back, checking on us, and they might even just, we're gonna send a couple, plants that's, with a meat suit, you know what I'm saying? To just sit there. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? Like,
we send decoys, we're sending robotic decoys into, the jungles and the forest to watch animals.
yeah.
And the animals don't know the
Exactly.
difference. So
Exactly.
it comes back to, okay, so the ancient Babylonian and Sumerian creation myths talk about there was a species they used the like Neanderthal man and what was here on Earth, and they mixed them with their DNA and jumped the evolution forward millions of years. Because you go on the internet and you can research how people theorize that humans, if we evolved on Earth, we are terribly evolved for Earth. I mean, we have one of the species that have the longest lasting gestation periods for babies, and babies rely on people, for years and years and years. Where most animals,
Right. I see what you're saying.
most animals drop out of that fucking womb or come out of that egg. They're good to go.
Well, think about that also. It's, population control is real, right?
Yes, they're doing it right now with a lot of things going on.
So a lot of things like me and my family, we're trying to eat a little different, right? And it's by design also. All right, I don't want to make it a race thing, but it's not a race thing because we're all people, and it's somehow proven that we all have Africa in us, right? I don't believe it or not, but it's somewhat proven, right? The only reason I say these things
We
is
are
like
all stardust.
we all have that, right? All of the resources, things that are natural, Africa has more resources than anyone. And it's like, it's funny that it's like, I'm saying these things because back to the Bible, right? The Bible is almost preaching things to the individual to keep away from your true connection with the universe and everything, right? For instance, back to humble yourself and don't be too cocky and things like that. No. You look yourself in the mirror, tell myself, I'm powerful. Anything can be possible through me. I can do anything, right? That's right. You have the God gene in you. That's affirming yourself. You are powerful, just like believing in yourself. Hey,
absolutely.
Negative self-talk disorder is real. If I shoot this shot, oh man, I might miss this. You're gonna miss. If you shoot that motherfucker knowing it's going in, it's a higher chance that motherfucker going in the hole. You know what I'm saying? So when a lot of this Bible stuff, it puts fear into us. It puts that hell thing into us. But one thing about me, it keeps me from being my strong, powerful, godly self. And like I said, I used to sell drugs and stuff. I also used to pander, right? I used to do a lot of like sell cocaine in the strip clubs, and a lot of women like my cadence, right? I'm pretty cool. I'm no nonsense. I'm funny. I'm cool. A lot of women will like gravitate. So I realized that this Bible stuff is really like pimping. You know what I'm saying? Once I realized that I've been a pimp before, wait a minute, this Bible is pimping us. It's like, don't choose no other God before me. Bitch, if you see another pimp, you don't look him in his eyes, you look at the flow. You don't choose no other pimp before me. It's just like pimping, bro. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point of, oh, you did that? No, you didn't do that. You did that because you got me around. You got those shoes in that outfit because of me, through me. And then what do you say? Oh, through Jesus' name, everything is powerful. Man, you can do anything on your own. So the fact that we give our credit to the entity of Jesus, which we already got into, that they've just re-rocked it by another different stories of amazing people, Yeshua and things, and made their own Mega Man of Jesus. So I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that's a copycat of the other real entities that they formed him off of. And it's like, okay, you got the hell thing. If you don't obey this, you're going to go to hell. Hey, obey your slave master. Damn. And then as Black people in America, we already, well, I'm going to say that we've had it hard. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so the fact that it's like, no, you're going to have it hard. You're supposed to have it hard because endure this and still stay humble and serve us. And guess what? When you die, then you'll be blessing with towers and 10 times. Like what? That's pimping. bitch, I know you don't like this. I know you don't like selling ass, sucking dick all day. But if you do this for another 5 years for me, I guarantee you we will prosper. That's pimping, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
And I think
wait a minute. So
there's
I'm sorry, go ahead.
okay, no, okay, so and I completely understand that part, and it's religion has been used as pimping for thousands of years. We all know,
Man, big pimp.
but there is a dude down here in Mexico that says he is the second coming of Jesus, and he wears the finest suits all day
Oh
long,
man,
drives the
I've
nicest
heard
cars,
dude. Yeah,
and
he's
he's like,
fly as hell.
I'm
Big
the
pimp.
Jesus. And so I think well, the thing about religion, and especially the Bible that I am finding out, is I think it's full of metaphors, parables, and I think there's a lot of good information in it on how to live a better life. Because, if you're, but we take things too extreme all the time.
Have you
Take
ever
it as a
talked to
recommendation.
you ever
And
talked
there's,
to a homeless person before, or like an old drunk or a crack addict? You ever talk to an addict and actually find that they're kind of intelligent?
oh yeah, all the time.
So it's kind of like that, right? It's like the Bible can mislead you, but it can also give you comfort in what you need. It's big
Right.
pimp. A pimp. What is a pimp? A pimp's gonna confuse you. He's gonna talk fast. I'm gonna make you feel good with what I'm saying, but it's the same thing. You might be a little confused, but hey, this smile and everything, as long as it make you feel good, everything can happen. And it's like, damn. And the
Oh
fact
yeah,
that
no, I work.
everybody, and imagine this. Imagine if everybody that you have respect for was following me. Imagine if your grandma was following me. Imagine
Yeah.
if your mom was following me. You wouldn't even question what I say. You understand? So it's like the representation, like it precedes itself. So it's like it's
Yes.
real scary, man.
Absolutely. And I think that's why everybody should, I was raised with a Christian, I was kind of Christian, not really forced or anything like that, but I've
Yeah.
studied Hinduism, Taoism, shamanism. I've dabbled, looked into Islam and all the religions. My whole thing is like we were
Okay.
talking earlier, you were talking about how they took all the good things from all the other stories and they put it on their own pot. Like that's
Yeah,
what I'm
man.
doing. Some people call it heretical.
Uh,
Anymore, if it's a habit or something I can take and apply it to my life, and that will push me further in a better direction in my life, then I'm gonna fucking take it. I don't care if it's meditation or if it's praying 5 days, five
mhm.
times a day, like a Muslim.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that.
I'm gonna take it. And I can't I've always been against labels, 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 labels. And we got to define ourselves. And I know we kind of need labels to describe
Yeah,
ourselves to a certain extent.
yeah,
But most of the time I find labels are just bullshit. Okay. Somebody calls himself a Christian. What does that even mean? Call yourself a
exactly,
Muslim. You call yourself
exactly.
whatever. What does that really mean?
Yeah,
Um,
it means that it's just like it's almost like a filter for how to talk to someone. It's like,
well,
oh,
it's a
I
label
know this
upon
lady is a
yourself.
Christian. You know, I know not to say these things, or oh, I know not to say these things. It's like it's almost like that.
Well, and then also it's a label along yourself of who you want to identify and associate with.
Okay, yeah,
So
definitely.
you're using it among your peers. Um,
Mm-mm-mm.
and the thing about it I found is like, okay, so this is what I say is like high school never ends. America is still England, and people are still monkeys. The going science says people evolved from monkeys. Why? We're barely more than monkeys in my view. Um, because I see how we act and we behave. So going back to that, it's it comes down to nobody has any real fucking clue on what the fuck is going on. And we play these games that we know what the truth is.
Mm-hmm.
And we say we know the truth when we have no real clue. But we're not open because people have to know the truth. They're like, I know the truth. I need to know this truth.
Mm-hmm.
And so we latch onto it. It's like politicians, how many people follow politicians like they were Jesus or Buddha or Muhammad.
Yeah, that was like the whole Obama Trump thing, that was real interesting, right? Like it's like a lot of people just follow just to follow, right? And it's like, all right, that's cool.
They find
But
things like to identify with this person. And that's when we come back to cults,
exactly.
like the cult leader, he's going to make a promise to you. He's going to say, he's going to give you, I'm the only one that can do this.
Yeah, man.
Follow
Like
me because I will give you X, Y, and Z because you can't give it to yourself.
yeah, yeah. Well, so a lot of black people rushed to Obama. I did myself. I was a I was a felon, and I
Dude,
was still
most
trying
people
to
did.
register to vote. So this the thing, right? But we didn't care. We was like, so what? We finna get this blackface in there. We didn't care, right? But the thing is, nothing was done for us under his reign. Nothing.
Yeah. Okay. So
He
this is
had a
the
lot of rights for gays and the LGBT and shit. It was a lot of like stuff for like, women like fuck up these deadbeat dads and shit. But like nothing was really, what I'm saying, in order for us. Like, you know what I mean?
nothing changed.
No, it changed
And
for the worse.
actually, I think Obama made race relationships in
Man,
America worse because I wanted to believe, dude. I've been bitter against politicians for decades, and even with Obama coming around, and I mean, he made some fucking amazing speeches, and there was this little part of me that was like, I want to hope, I want to hope, but I knew it was no because it doesn't matter what color of skin you get a person in there, they're all corrupt.
yeah,
Like that's
man.
the thing about, and actually, I want to make it not about race,
Yeah,
because
agendas.
the people behind all the agendas
Mm-hmm.
are
Those big elites.
multicultural and multinational, and it's not black versus white versus Asian. It's rich
Nah.
people against poor people.
Mm-hmm. And keeping this power, keeping it going, and keeping the power going,
Yeah,
and the population. They're
yeah. No,
really
they're
promoting like, bro, nah, we gotta make a lot of y'all unfertile. We want to turn a lot of y'all gay. We want to turn a lot of
sterilization.
y'all men, women. We want to stop this. We want to stop y'all from making more. And it's a trick. It's a nice slick way that they're doing. It's pimping. It's
when
slick.
you when you look at the things in the food in America, the poisons in our water, the poisons in our food that most of the rest of the world won't allow in theirs.
That's crazy, right? That should be so scary to us right there, right? Not
It's
only that, right? Um, um, damn, what was I gonna
oh,
say?
the shit that they're putting in the sky now, the weather modification, dude. And that's the
I
thing
was
about, they've been preaching they want under 500 million people in the world, and to
Mhm.
do that you don't have to start a war, you don't have to go out and kill everybody, you just
No, you
make them
don't.
infertile for a couple generations,
Yeah,
boom.
and you promote fear and make us crazy, and we gonna fuck around and kill ourselves.
Well, look at it like this, we just had a pandemic with
Mhm.
a deadly virus. And at what point did any politician, any leader come out and say, hey, get healthy, go outside, lose weight, eat right, boost your immune system?
Never.
Not one politician did that. Not
Well,
one.
Michelle Obama did. She had a whole campaign on that, but you know how the white community felt about Michelle Obama. But she was the only one. She was.
I
That
keep
was
hearing
her only
she's a
thing.
man. That's
That
what
was her
everybody keeps saying. They're
that
like,
was her only thing. But I mean, come on, man. Like, like
I
what
don't.
do we get out of that? We can entertain that, but it's like, come on, man. It's like I know a lot of women that can beat your ass and
Yeah,
they're not men.
yeah.
I know a lot of women that can fuck you up, can shoot the ball. Like, come on, man. You know
Oh,
what I'm
dude,
saying?
Ronda Rousey would.
This is
Yeah,
black women. Black women, we birthed a lot of y'all babies. You know what I'm saying? Even this cow shit, it wasn't no cow milk back then. They was putting that motherfucking the slave grandma patootie in y'all babies. Y'all was getting raised by black women. We was doing like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy, bro.
no, I
It's
know. It's
fun to
just one of those
entertain. It
things.
is cool to entertain. I've seen some of the clips where it looked like she got a bulge and shit. Like, I've seen some of the clips. It's like, that's just like one of them clips where somebody can be blurry-eyed and it'll be like, look at their eyes transform. I was like, that just looked like a glare on the picture. That don't mean her eye turned into a lizard. Some of that
it's an extreme like theory. It's like, and it's like, I don't think so or whatever. I just know that he's a politician that was president, and I know that every president in the last 50 years has been a war criminal.
Yeah. I mean, as far as him and the gay and with another man and all of that, that seems realistic. You know what I'm saying? So I could see how you can put one into the other, but nah, they try to undermine that black woman, bro, because she was strong and powerful, and she was trying to get us healthy. She was about the kids. Every time you see Michelle Obama, she didn't give a fuck about the adults or the husbands or the politicians. You saw her with kids. You saw her promoting books about eating healthy and exercising. Whether that's a man or a woman, regardless, that's something that no politician was doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't know. But
my question to that is, it's always agendas. It's always like they're, you know, I don't know the heart of Michelle Obama or Barack Obama or any of those people. But from what I've seen and what I know and what I can surmise, I don't trust any of them.
No, you can't trust any politician. But
and that's the problem.
When it's the only population, the only politician that, like you just said, you made a point. Has anybody talked about eating healthy? That was your point. She was the only one, and you still don't want to grasp that.
Well, no, I'm just wondering how long all that lasted, and it's they always
self-evaluating. Huh? Say that again. I'm sorry.
Well, no, my question is, because I'm always that, like, you know, how much of it is they've been doing that. There's the first lady always takes up some kind of, I remember when we were doing it back in the day, some type of, you know, charity work and everything like that. Which
I've seen Barbara Bush. Barbara Bush is the only first lady that I've seen do anything with a kid. Barbara Bush. That's the only one other than Michelle Obama, bro. Who else? Hillary ain't did a damn thing. Like no one else. Like, I mean, who? Like, really, who other than Barbara Bush and Michelle Obama? What other first lady did anything that you can?
That I can remember? No, because I don't. But I know they usually have something that they have the first lady doing for, you know. But my point is back to it is it's all PR. Whatever they're doing for the most part, like I feel that it's a PR stunt, which I guess, hey, if you're getting kids out there, you're getting eating healthy, you're getting exercising, then it's a good PR. So I think I'm just kind of being that bitter and jaded, she might be doing it, but what is she?
I'm gonna share a topic with you that's really heavy with the black community, right?
Okay.
Especially since we were talking about Michelle Obama, right? A lot of the things going on with the black community is submission, right? We have strong, powerful women, and we are strong and powerful. But a lot of the times, it's almost as if our women are over masculated. Even with the whole Michelle Obama's a man, that's been a thing by design by, whatever.
Certain groups.
Yeah, that's by design. Even with us, we have to check it ourselves, right? Because it's even the whole deadbeat thing when the 80s and the crack and all of that, it was most of us would either on drugs or get locked up, and then the women would be stuck with the babies, taking care of them on their own. Then they started the whole child support thing, which a lot of women was like, you know what? Fuck the dad. I'm gonna just write him off on child support and take care of this baby myself. That got rid of the black family man household. So anyway, it's a lot of stuff. But anyway, a topic that we talk about is the power of the black woman, right? So you went back, we was talking about like the first ladies, and yeah, they'll be like, oh, I'll do some little stuff with the kids and everything. But as you said, that was like that was something that they would like be supposed to doing. They weren't really doing shit. Some of those first ladies would just chill back. But the fact that I want you to understand that Michelle was going through it on her own because that was her own power. All right, you the president, but I'm not finna just sit here and do nothing. She did that campaign on her own because she was powerful. I'm not just finna be in my husband's shadow. I'm gonna be known for these books and things like that. So that's the difference between. I'm not saying that white women aren't powerful, also,
but I see what you're saying, and I completely agree because Michelle Obama,
they're okay with being housewives. A lot of them are. They're okay with just going shopping, cooking, cleaning, and you know what I'm saying, I'll just be the housewife. A lot of white women are submissive and shit. When it's like us, we have to prove for our women to submit to us. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I do, and I see exactly what you're saying, and I can understand that. Personally, I'm done with white women. They're fucking crazy.
All
Women
women
of,
are crazy, bro. All
well,
women
we know
crazy.
that, but I think this kind of ties into, and I got a joke that like women of color will let you know before they stab you. White
Oh,
women, white women will wait till you fall asleep and chop your dick off.
that's funny as hell. With a black woman, she gave you warnings that this would happen. That's
Yep.
very true. She's gonna
Yep.
tell you. That's true. Hey, that's real true. You know what I'm saying? That's
So
real
yes,
fucking true.
I think my thing is not Michelle Obama. It's just my aversion to politicians in general because I despise them. It's kind of like when I deal with police. I know they're
Yeah,
people and they
man.
have good intentions and everything, but there's just that,
I
it's
actually wish
just oh.
I actually wish something would have happened to where Michelle was the real president. If I actually think, and I was in prison and getting out of prison at this time, right? I had caught a case. Oh, it was so fucked up, bro. My government name is a little hard to pronounce, right?
Okay.
I have a baby on the way, and this is how fucking ironic it was. My woman at the time was a white woman. I have a son with a white woman, right? At the time, we were pregnant. She was, due date was coming up. I
Hey,
got
bud, I gotta
pulled
give you
over.
just a second. I gotta start.
All right.
Hey, I'm still kind of in the middle of something, so I got it's gonna be a couple minutes. So is that okay? Well,
How long we been on here?
dogs, you've been a pain in the ass.
Huh?
All right, there we go. You were in the middle of something.
No, it was just crazy how just because I have a background of a felony, anytime you get any altercation with the police, they're
Oh
just like,
yeah.
oh no, he's a felon. This is a felony too. It's like, wait a minute. So anyway, I get pulled and they asked me my name, said my name, get my ID, and it was like, no, you told me it was another name. Like, what you mean, son? I said my name, bro. And oh, this is the obstruction of justice and da da da
Yep.
da da. And obstruction of justice is a misdemeanor offense. But the fact that I have a felony, I'm a felon at the time, they upgraded to a felony and they was trying to lie on the added charges. They
Oh
upgraded
yeah.
the term. If you
Oh yeah.
say
They'll
obstruction of justice is just wasting someone's time, you can make you know what I'm saying? But now if you look up obstruction of justice, it's coercion, destruction of evidence, or possible leading to fleeing and eluding. And it's like, what?
yeah.
And anyway, long story short, like I said, I had a couple of convictions down. So they was like, bro, this ain't nothing. This is a felon. That was a probational offense. So I was like, all right, I took a probation 0 to 3. I got the 3. That's the max off of that. That was my last time going. So in the process, I was like, damn, this Obama shit might be on something. Bro, they sent it's so crazy how many it's crazy. Like I wish I can get into the statistics, but I can't. All I know is I know the difference between when I went to prison the first time and after the last time. It was so many people they call it a bird cage when you first enter the booking or into the intake.
Yeah.
And it's just bodies of bodies of bodies of bodies of inmates. You know what I'm saying? Then when you learn
Yeah.
about private prisoner, private
Yeah. There you
investors and
go.
things, bro, man, this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just about design, bro. And I don't mean to keep throwing like,
It's
and I'm
all
an
about
asshole.
money. It's all about money, dude.
Yeah,
It's
bro.
like you had prison unions, guard unions, throwing money at making sure pot didn't become legal.
Yeah,
Like the
man. So
pharmaceutical companies and the prison industry did not want marijuana to become legal at all. And this is again another thing. It comes down to rich versus poor. And once they get you in the system, they want you poor. They want you to do. Oh, it's fun. We could do a whole nother episode on that.
I kind of, and I still feel bad about that. I make people feel uncomfortable every time I go to the dispensary. I'll be in line waiting. I'll be like, hey, everyone, let's give a moment of silence for everyone still locked up in their cell right now while we're buying marijuana for free and they've been in
Right.
jail for marijuana. Like, and everybody be like, oh fuck, dude. I'm like, what? It's real?
Yeah.
Imagine
No,
how
it's
you would
real.
feel if you was in jail for marijuana and now marijuana is legal and they ain't let you out. Everyone should be released before any company makes $1 off of this shit. And y'all still getting paid off of them being in prison? That's crazy.
Yeah. If we could get the stoners together, we would have an army. But man, it's just like, because we're paying, even like, you think about how much tax we're paying on marijuana, we're paying like 20% tax.
Bro,
that you don't pay for anything else.
It's
But
crazy, right?
it is crazy. It's crazy. All right,
And
man,
then just to think what we're doing.
we're coming up
man,
on
we've
about
been
an
on for a
hour.
while, man.
I've had a great conversation. It's been great. We'll have to do it again. We got a couple more. We went all over the place, so that's cool.
For sure, man.
So is there anywhere people can find you? I'm gonna put your links in the bio.
I'm Swisha ATM on all platforms. SWISHA ATM. I released 2 singles. I have a book actually speaking about my drug life and pimping. It's called Pretty Dick. It's about to be published soon.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, my music is everywhere, and you can follow me on Swisha ATM everywhere, man.
All right, man. Well, like I said, it was good talking to you. Good luck, brother. There is I know you're into vibrations and weird stuff. It's called Spirit Science on YouTube. It's a channel that deals with all sorts of kind of stuff. And the best part about it, it's all done in cartoon and in pastels.
I like that. I like those. Yeah, man. I'm gonna take that out. You said Spirit Science?
Spirit Science on YouTube. Check it out and have a good one, man.
All right, you too, man. Salute, man. Have a positive, productive, and a progressive day, man.
We will catch you on the flip side.